All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope everyone is doing well out there today. It's a beautiful day here in California. Kind of gloomy, a little overcast. I guess it's supposed to rain in the next couple days, but it's still a beautiful day because we're here and we made it to see another day. And we got first generation farmer in the house. What up? What up? So since I always kind of wait a little bit to let everyone, well, not let, but to see who all joins in. Let's talk about the 290 real quick. So swapped out the fuel lines, swapped out the carburetor, still no luck. In my comment, so we're talking to first generation farmer right now about his 290. We got Waffle VR in the house. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday to you, Waffle. So I was asking, what the cylinder and the piston look like. But assuming that it all looks good, no scoring, no gouging, no nothing. The only other thing that I can think of is, fuel filter, air filter, make sure it's not all clogged up or dirty. Same thing with the fuel filter, just make sure that it's, if you haven't changed that in a while, I would maybe change that. Maybe you're getting a, I don't know, fuel delivery issue of some sort. I actually did a little bit of research into that and just to see what people are saying about that. And it kind of comes down to fuel delivery, but that's not to say that that's what's happening. So I would definitely check to make sure, piston and cylinder looks okay. No scoring, no nothing on both sides. So exhaust side, intake side. I'm sure you already know, running fresh fuel, proper mixture. Make sure the spark plug is all good. That it's not fouled out or maybe you're having some coil issues. Maybe your coil is faulting out, possibly. It's tricky to say what exactly it is. It's just kind of one of those things where you have to kind of go through a slight process of elimination. You just got to check everything and make sure it's good. But really, that's what it was kind of coming down to. Fuel delivery issue, but obviously, already replaced the lines. And you could always do a pressure test on the lines to make sure that they're all good and there's no leaks anywhere, or maybe pinched fuel line somewhere, possibly. That's where I would kind of check. Waffle says, thanks, happy Tuesday to you too. Right on, right on. Thank you. First generation says, I'll probably drop it off at my buddy's that works on saws. He might, he'll probably just, depending on what his process is or how he works, he might, just check everything, make sure everything's all squared away. But, like you can test the strength of your spark. There's this, of course, it's like a special little tool that you have to buy. Because even if you do a spark, just a regular spark test, I mean, just because you have spark doesn't mean that it's good spark. Because it could just be maybe the coil is going out, or maybe the spark plug, or just fuel filter. So on the fuel filters, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't know how to check if it's good or bad. So like the steel ones, if I remember correctly, if I understand, you can actually pull them apart and actually look inside of the little filter and see how dirty it is. So you can't actually check those. You just kind of have to pry it out a little bit. And then like the Walbro style, like the earlier, like the Echo, some of the Echo style, you can just tell if it's really dirty or not. But those steel ones, you can separate and look inside and actually see the filter itself. And we got Double O in the house. Yo, yo, yo. Happy Tuesday to you. First generation farmer says that knows what he's doing. So we already replaced fuel filter and air filter. Okay, so we can rule that out. So maybe something with the lines, you know, maybe, um, I don't know. It's tricky. Maybe there's a pinch somewhere, or, but no, if there's a pinch, usually, I mean, it would really be, because I mean, you get a couple of cuts in and then it stops and then it won't turn on. So maybe it's just a coil issue. That's kind of what I, that's kind of what I want to say. That's not what I'm saying it is for sure, but that's kind of what I feel like it is. Some sort of ignition problem. Maybe the coil is faulting out, or, yeah, I'm going to say ignition at this point because we already kind of ruled out everything else. Air filter, fuel filter, probably new spark plug as well, new carburetor, fuel lines. I mean, that's pretty much everything. And then, you know, if this, you know, if the cylinder sleeve and everything looks good, no compression issues, or maybe, oh, well, one thing I just thought about right now, or maybe the oil seals, maybe one of the oil seals is going out. So that would be another thing to check is, you know, do a pressure and vacuum test on the oil seals and see if there's any leaks there, because that could cause some, that'll definitely cause running issues or starting issues, or which one way you can tell if you don't have a pressure and vac tester, when your saw is running, assuming that it idles and everything, you can just kind of tilt it on its side for a bit on both sides. And if it's really bad, your RPM and idle will start to fluctuate. That's not going to tell you which side it is until you put it under pressure or vacuum, and then put a little bit of soapy water, and then see what side bubbles, and that'll tell you right there. O says, "What are we doing today?" So nothing really crazy. I mean, it's nothing. We're not going to be here too long on this one. It's going to be fairly quick. So we got this beautiful red lever 026. This is for our customer and good buddy Manny, who's 044 that we just did a timing advance, muffler mods. Muffler mods mean we opened up the muffler itself, and then we replaced the original exhaust casing with the West Coast bark box, and then we just gave it a little love, like cleaning and sharpened the chain, maintenance, did some maintenance on the bar, like cleaning out the grooves and just making sure it's all good to go. And that thing came out sweet, man. It came out great. So he kind of wants to try to do that to this, do a timing advance. It's all original except for the dogs. When he came and picked up his 044, and also we got M&G in the house. Says hello, hello, yo, yo, happy Tuesday. Doing well, man, doing well. And so when he came and picked up his 044, he's like, "I'm gonna bring you my 026 so you can see it." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, man, bring it." And this thing is pristine. A little dirty right now. I know it doesn't look dirty, but it's just a little dirty because he was just doing some cuts and to send me some videos. But it's all original except for these dogs. These are from the 044. He's like, "Do you think the 044 dogs will fit on the 026?" And I'm like, "I think they will, but there's only one way to find out." So the day that he picked them up, the day that he picked up his 044, I put the dogs on, the 044 dogs, and they look freaking killer on here. You definitely want to run a chain catcher, but for some reason, it just didn't align with the rolling chain catcher, so it's not running a chain catcher. But you should always run your chain catchers. I mean, it does have one here, so that's fine. But you know, for this setup right here, you definitely want to, you know, usually you're going to run the rolling chain catcher. So always run your chain catchers. Don't take them off. Again, I know I'm telling you guys to run the rolling chain catchers if it requires one or needs one, but, and I'm not using one now, but it did not mount up. It did not match up, align, that's what I should say. Man, I've been bad with my words these days. And so I told him, I was like, "Look, man, you should be running that, but again, it's up to you." And he's like, "Oh man, it should be fine, right?" And I'm like, "Well, again, that is up to you." It does have the chain catcher here, but so he's a wild man, so no rolling chain catcher. Everything else is good. So we're just going to do a timing advance, and then also he wants to go from the 325 pitch over to the 3/8, and then run a 20-inch bar. So the bar that's running on the that was on the 044. He's going to put a 25 on the 044. So we're going to do that as well. So just some minor little things. And then the cleaning is going to be super quick. It's literally just going to be a wipe down, maybe a little hit with the air compressor, but this thing is freaking clean, man. And first gen, you're welcome, man. Anytime. I'm always happy to help and in any way that I can. So definitely thank you for reaching out as well and hanging out with us for a little bit. And we got Letty in the house, says, I just disliked sending hate from Australia. Hey, much love to you, Letty. Double O says, badass dogs. Yeah, dude, they're sick. I like this style. 5-point, they're cool. Cod says, hi, can you give me a shout out? I cannot. He's such a dick. I don't really do shout outs, so, but I can say, Cod, much love to you, man. Happy Tuesday. Or, ma'am. Okay, we're not even gonna go there. Just much love to you. Happy Tuesday. Let me go get that rim sprocket just to have it, and then we'll get started on this this timing advance. Alrighty, so let's get it going, because I would like to test at least 2 saws today. So he's 026, so he can come and pick it up today because he's really excited. He really liked the way that his 026. Oh, okay. Oh, so it wasn't sitting all the way. So whoever was here yesterday, because you guys saw me for a little bit, I was fussing with this. Not fussing, but I've never worked on an 026 before, which is this is a real treat. And this little air filter cover, man, it kind of threw me for a loop for some reason. And so I put it on, I figured it out, but the little knob here, when you push it in, it's like on a spring. It was kind of, and someone was like, well, maybe it's not in all the way. And I thought it was, but right now I gave it just a little extra push, and it wasn't sitting in all the way. So we'll just leave this on for now, because all we really need to do right now is get to the flywheel. So let's go ahead and get the fan housing off. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well today. So yeah, I want to just kind of get this one done, because it really shouldn't be anything crazy, especially that it doesn't really need a whole lot of cleaning, because I want to get this one done, tested, and then I want to get Alberto's 201 TC cleaned up just a little bit. I mean, it's a chainsaw. It's pretty dirty, but I'm not gonna get all OCD on it, because I would like to get him his chainsaw, his 201 and the 2511, which I tested yesterday, and it came out great. It's working now. It got a new metering diaphragm, carburetor clean out with the gum out spray, and a carburetor tune, because it was super out of tune, because he's like, well, we couldn't get it running, so we just started trying to tune the carburetor. And look, I'm still pretty much learning on how to tune carburetors. Carburetors are kind of tricky. I know some people, they're not as tricky, but for me, sometimes they can be really tricky. And so I'm sure they were just kind of sitting there moving screws and whatnot. So I was gonna take it off with no, but it's all good to go. I have a running video of it, so you guys will see that a little later. His 250 still having issues, so we're gonna try a new carburetor. I've already replaced the metering diaphragm and everything else, so we're just gonna try that. And right before the live stream, because I was waiting to jump on a call with my lady friend at 2 o'clock, so I just went ahead and finally wiped down all of our tools with some alcohol, just because poison oak is on the rise right now, and I'm very allergic to it. And so I just, not to make them all clean and shiny, because I like my tools looking dirty, but just to try to break down some of the poison oak oil, if any, on there. So we got Brandon F in the house. Brandon, happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. Says that's a clean 026. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it's one of the cleanest that I've seen personally, in person, actually. This is our buddy Manny's 026. It's a red lever. And super clean. All we're doing right now is a timing advance. We're going to swap out the sprocket, the rim sprocket, to a 3/8 pitch. And then slap on its new bar and chain. And the cleaning is going to be very minimal. I'm just going to give it a good wipe down with our favorite crocodile cloth, and then it'll be ready for testing. And then probably start another live stream right after that and do Alberto's 201 TC, which it runs. It's just it came in for a little tune up and TLC, and just want to clean it up real quick and put it all back together, and then go out and test Manny's 026 and then Alberto's 201, and then hopefully everything works out, and then Manny can come pick up his 026, and then Alberto can come pick up his 2511 that we went out and did some testing on yesterday, which, like I said, I'll show you. I'll post the video of that later, and then he can come hopefully pick up his 201, and then keep it moving. Keep it moving. We got RPM Nitro in the house. Says, what up, y'all? My friend, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Brandon F says, good soap and water with the rag. Rinse poison oak away well. Yeah, I personally like using Dawn dish soap just because it's good on grease, and that's what I use at the end of the day. So just because I recently just got poison oak, maybe like 3 weeks ago. It wasn't super bad, but it was bad enough. And I mean, I'm used to it now. It's all part of the game doing this work, this type of work. But so now I'm back with the rubber gloves and rubbing alcohol. So, and I also have I have a spray bottle with some alcohol in here. I need more. So basically at the end of the day, I just kind of wipe myself down, especially when I'm air compressing saws and cleaning them. And then I go inside and wash off with Dawn dish soap. And but yeah, poison oak, it's tolerable now. Like I get it quite often now, especially being in this line of work. But I don't know, if I could at least reduce the risk, that'd be, or try to reduce the chances of getting it. But yeah, it's no joke. Brandon F says, if you wash and rinse within a half hour or so, use a rag too. I will do that. I will do that. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it, man. And we got M&G says 3/8 pitch. What size bar? So a 20-inch bar. We're going to be rolling with a good old Roll-O-Matic ES. And then going to give this thing a timing advance. It is also going to get a modified muffler. It's going to get an Egan. Egan makes a muffler for the 026s, so that's on its way to Manny. Hopefully it'll show up today, and then we can slap it on when he comes and picks it up and give the carburetor a little tuning. Let's see if this flywheel puller will fit in this flywheel, because it has an in-thread style. And it does. Let's go. That's another thing, man. So that's what I was doing before I started the live stream, and I was waiting to jump on the call with my lady, wiping down my tools, because it's been a minute since I've done that. And just as a little preventative measure, I'm going to put you guys over here for just a second so I can get these tools. I really like this in-thread style flywheel and the flywheel puller, because man, it really just is a lifesaver. And I need to really invest in some flywheel pullers, because I'm just kind of tired of doing the old hammer whack. Running the risk of damaging things, like mushrooming the crankshaft, and that's not a good time, because I've already done it. And you know what, I should probably, let's go ahead and remove this muffler so I can put the piston stop in there. Wow, 2 screws, that's all it is? Okay. Plus, the flywheel puller is just better, mainly because you don't want to cause any damage to the crankshaft or bearings or just really anything. There's an 026 muffler. Never seen a 026 before, so I'm just kind of checking things out. I have an 028, super clean. It's very clean. Not as clean as this 026, but it's freaking clean, man. So it's kind of a treat to have this 026 here. Because supposedly, it's believed that the 028 was kind of the inspiration to the 026. Just from what I've gained and learned is that the 028s were great saws. I mean, they weren't considered professional, but they're good saws. Okay. Brian Martin says 3/8 pitch and a 20-inch bar will pull the guts out of that little saw. Just saying, big dogs on there. Yeah, so he wanted some bigger dogs, and I said, all right, man. So we put the 044 dogs on this saw, and so we'll see what it does with the timing advance and the Egan muffler. And believe me, that's all stuff that when customers come in and they say, hey, I want to do this and this and this, I don't just say, okay, sure, no problem. I always say, okay, yeah, we can do that. But I also kind of let them know, sometimes more or less the risks, or the potential things that can come with doing certain changes. But if they're really stuck on doing something and they understand that performance might be affected or the saw might not run optimal, I mean, if they understand that risk, I mean, I'll still do it, but it's kind of like when people want the max flow air filter. I always make sure to stress to them that they want to run the max flows or the Egans or the uni filters or the West Coast filters with proper lubrication. You don't want to run those things dry or even the slightest bit dry. But people are going to do what they want. And now that we're here, let me check out since the muffler is already off, let me just check out the piston and the cylinder, which the piston looks great, at least from the exhaust side. The back of it, so intake side, looks really good. So just want to give a quick little peek at that. Put the piston stop in there. Boom. And either way, you do want a piston stop in there. When you do a timing advance, it's just easier to keep the flywheel in place. Okay, let me put you guys back over here. Brian Martin says 028 Super Steel is the best all-around saw ever made. Can do big and small jobs. That's what I've always kind of like, at least from when I started researching that saw, when I first came in across that saw at the power equipment shop that I was working at. It was at 028 Super, electronic, quick stop and all that. And just from the forums and what people are saying, it's like, yeah, it was a really great saw, or it is a great saw, especially back in its times. So mine is not a super. I mean, I would like to add a super one day, bigger displacement, but it is the AV Wood Boss EQ, blah, blah, blah. And from what I understand, the Wood Boss was basically like the last version before they got discontinued. So if I'm remembering correctly. Okay. So this has an in-thread style, which I'm really glad, because I'm tired of doing the hammer whack method, and I haven't had good luck with it lately, honestly. So in-thread style. So now I know that this in-thread flywheel puller fits the 026, the 046s, 460s, 461s, 440s, 044, and probably other models. So it's a two-piece deal here. So this one goes into the flywheel, and when you're tightening this thing down, this part down, you don't want to crank on it. You just want it to be snug and secure. You don't want to sit there and crank on it. And then the second part, which is what pops the flywheel off, is this, and this goes into this piece here. I really like using this tool, man. It's awesome. Okay. Okay. And then I'm using a 11/16 crescent wrench, and you're just gonna go ahead and keep tightening it down. My bad. That seemed very catastrophic, but it wasn't, I promise. It's just because the phone fell. And that pop, let me clean the phone screen. I promise you it's normal. It freaked me out the first time. I was like, great, the piston stop broke or something broke. It's normal. But you still want to be careful though. But that is normal. And there you go. There's your flywheel. Oh yeah, this thing's clean, man. I mean, it's got a little grime built up, but I'm not gonna go super OCD like everything else. And I might brush it a little bit, but I'm not gonna sit there with the pick tools and get into every nook and cranny. Okay. 00 says, what are you saying? Big dogs make 20% more power to the saw itself. Are you sure it's not 25%? Brian Martin says, I bought an 026 new in 1994. Shit, man, I was 3 years old. The one you have is very clean for its age. No, he scored big time on this one. I forget how much he bought this one for. He bought it off his buddy, who, I'm really bad with my words these days. Holy shit. He bought it from his friend, and it was his grandfather's, his friend's grandfather's saw. And so you guys know most older gentlemen or old people. I'm really bad with my words today. Holy shit. Yesterday too. It's like most people that are, you know, higher in age, like elders, you know, they're just more curious, like they treat their stuff nice and they keep their stuff nice. And so Manny also bought the 044 from his friend, which was his grandfather's, and also too very, very clean 044. And anyway, so yeah, this one's very clean, very, very clean, and it's a red lever, so that's freaking cool. Okay, so we got the flywheel out of here. Jeez, man, horrible with words these days. Imagine if I was still drinking. Whew, boy. Or who knows, maybe I'd talk better. I don't know. No, definitely not. Talk a lot more shit. Anyways, first generation farmer says, gotta go. I will see you later. All right, my friend, good luck with that 290, and let's keep in touch about it. I'm curious to know what's going on with that thing as well. Coltus GTI says, what are you doing? So right now we're working on a super clean red lever 026. I just finished pulling the flywheel off. And so I'm doing a timing advance, and then we're also going to switch out the rim sprockets. So it's going to go from a 3/2/5 pitch over to a 3/8. It's a 7-tooth. And then we're going to slap on its new bar. It's not actually a new bar, but it's new to the saw, and then a chain, and then eventually, whenever it shows up with Manny, it's going to get a Egan modified muffler. So, and that's it. And then just do like a light, very light cleaning, because it's already super clean. I mean, super clean. I'm just going to literally give it a wipe down, maybe try to brush off some of this grime inside the flywheel, and that's it. So now let's go ahead and get the keyway out, or the key. And that is, you just got to take your time with that. Let's get the vice grips out now to hold the key. I already have the files here. Let me grab a small little flathead screwdriver to kind of help tap out the key. So this is what could be the more tricky part, is to get the key out. There we go. And if you are going to give it a little tap with something, be careful. So you kind of want to, I wish I could show you guys, but you just want to, I just use this fine little flathead, and then kind of, as I'm kind of giving it a little tap with something, I could have even done it with this, just kind of like pry it up a little bit, but don't just sit there and whack it. So you might see on YouTube, well, you might, well, you will, there's people, I just shave off a little bit. You'll hear, oh, 20 thousandths and blah blah blah, and people, you know, they do all this and this and that, but I'll be honest with you guys, I just shave it down a little bit. And also, by saying I just shave it down, I'm still very careful. So a little goes a long way. That's applicable to a lot of things. So in this case, just because you shave down half the key or majority of the key doesn't mean better results. That's not the case here. You just want to start off with a little bit, you know, maybe go run it and see what kind of performance you get. But really, a little goes a long way. You don't need to go freaking crazy. Some saws, sure, they might need a little more than others, but in most of the time, a little goes a long way. So when I say, oh, I just shaved the key, I mean, I'm not just fucking half the key. No, I shave it down, and then I'll, you know, once I see that I'm making some progress, I'll put the key back in. I'll move the flywheel a little bit. Oh, so you wing it? Yes, kind of. But I'm also fucking careful when I'm doing this, because it's very easy to go too far. Max Bobby Nin says, this is Russia, Bulgarka. Max, much love to you. Happy Tuesday and welcome, and much love to you guys out there in Russia. Double O says, if you use a saw occasionally and don't need big power, steel 180 250 is quite good. Saws for its price, plenty of parts too. Yeah, I mean, I think the 180s and the 250s, I mean, the 250s are great saws. They're cool little saws, man. I have a 250 here right now for Alberto, and then the 180s too, they have a place in the world for sure. So I'm gonna just place the key into the vise here, and that's kind of vice grips here, and that's kind of like my guide to how and where I'm going to shave the key. Okay, let me align it. I think that's good there. Wow, this dude actually stopped talking. This dude actually knows how to not talk. I do, I'm concentrating. So there we go. So I just kind of, the way that I do it, and it's been working for me, is I just put the key inside the vice grips here, and I kind of put them in enough to where I feel like I'm going to shave. So like I don't know, measure it that way. It's weird, man. Everybody kind of just, some people just kind of start shaving away. So that's kind of my guide. So if you guys can see, and in this case, so for this type of key, so looking at it like this when it goes in to the crankshaft, so like here's your crankshaft, it's going to go in. This is really probably a bad demonstration. Point is when you're looking at it like this, I'm going to be shaving off from the right side. So that way, when I move the key counterclockwise, it's going to push against it. So I know I'm really bad at explaining, but so let's go ahead and start with, I don't know, let's try this. I feel like I want to move it in just a little more, actually. The great thing is about these keys is that they're not expensive. If you do, for some reason, go a little too far, but the point here is to not have to do that and to really just take our time and do things with patience and focus. Okay. Better to take your time. Okay, I feel good with that. So going from the right side. Another thing too, you want to make sure or do your best is to keep your file level, you know, not, it's kind of like sharpening a chain, you know, you kind of want to make sure everything is keeping straight. Angle and all that good stuff. That's why you shave, you look, just take your time. So Double O is asking, how do you know how much filing is good? Well, that's the thing. A lot of people try to, you'll hear, 20 thousandths. Obviously, I don't have any measurement in my mind to what 20 thousandths would look like. I just kind of shave off some. So like right now, we're still not even, even though it seems like I'm sitting here just really shaving. I mean, I'm still shaving off material, but I mean, obviously you guys won't be able to see, but there's real no, because I'm also not trying to like push down too much. I'm just trying to, I don't really know. I just shave off a little bit. That's what I'm saying. A little goes a long way. So you shave off for a little bit, you shave a little bit. Like right now, we're not even really making any. And then you put the key in, and then, you don't want to go too much. I mean, it's just, I don't know. You just kind of have to feel it out. And then, of course, start off with a little bit, with a few degrees, couple to a few degrees, and then go out and run it and see how the saw performs. I mean, if I really wanted to be more precise, I could get one of those, what are they, like calipers? I don't have any of those, but so I just kind of, I wing it, Jerry. I see that the flywheel, that the key is actually changing now. So okay, so with that, so this is where I'm saying to really get an idea of how much you've done. I mean, I can see that the flywheel, that the key is reduced a little bit, but the best way is to put the key back in and then put the flywheel on and just kind of turn it and see what kind of, how much you get, how much movement you're getting. Actually, you know what? Forget these gloves right now, man. Let's see. This is the only part that could be kind of tricky, is getting the key back in. Especially when you got big old sausage fingers like I do. Okay, so flywheel's on. Let's put the flywheel on. Got a little movement, but not a whole lot. So I'm going to do a little more. It's really not. It is moving, maybe a degree or two, but not a whole lot. But sometimes that's all it could take. So we're going to do a little more. Oh my God, he's going crazy. Damn right. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not going crazy. Oh. Okay. Okay, put the key back in and see what kind of movage we get here. A4 sandpaper is about 20 thousandths or 0.5. I'll definitely keep that in mind, because I feel like the file is good, but I don't know. It's always good to try different things. Sausage fingers over here. Okay. Key is in. Flywheel's going on. I'm kind of liking the feel of that. Again, I won't know until I go out and test it and see what it sounds like, or what it runs like. But again, a little goes a long way. And just because you shave off half of the key and you have all the advancement in the world, that doesn't mean you're going to get better results. It really doesn't. Some saws take to a little bit. Some saws maybe take to a little more, but I like the way this one feels here. Let's see. So let's see, let's go, because it is moving a little more than before, but I'm just trying to do it where the flywheel or the crankshaft is not engaging. That's why you want to have a piston stop in there. Okay, let's go. Let's give it some more. Let's do more. Ray's Outdoors says, hey, what do you call a pig that knows karate? A pork chop? Oh my God, dude. I like that. I'm going to use that this weekend. Watch. I'm going to use that one. That's a good one. What up, Ray? Happy Tuesday to you. Hope all is well over on your side of the world. You know what? Let's just get rid of this key, man. Let's just get rid of the whole. Let's just get rid of it all. Just screw it. Just a pork chop, though. Oh man, that's a good one. I like that. Pork chop. You know, I've never ate a pork chop. I think maybe once a long time ago, but I don't know. Something about pork chops, they just never sound appealing. I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't had a good pork chop. Regardless of, I'm going to just stop there and then go ahead and run it. But I think this will suffice. Plus, once it gets its Egan, it'll be all good. Okay. There we go. I like that. That's good. Good as far as the movement that I'm looking for. But we'll see how good it is when we run it. We got Jamal McNeilty in the house says, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" No, I'm just kidding. Happy Tuesday to you, Jamal. And I'm doing a timing advance right now on a 026 steel chainsaw, red lever 026. This is for our buddy Manny. We just finished doing well, not today, but a couple days ago we did his 044. Did a couple muffler modifications, timing advance, which is what we're doing now. And he really liked the way that it came out, and he's like, "Hey, do you think we can do that to the 026?" I'm like, "Yeah, definitely. You know, we'll see what kind of results we can get." And it's also going to get a Egan straight shot modified muffler. That is on its way to Manny. Hopefully it shows up today. That'd be pretty cool. So I can see the flywheel actually, it's advancing, you know, some. It's a tight fit on this crankshaft, but I can see the key, and it's a tight fit, or it's like a Almost there, almost there. It's a snug fit on that. Snug fit. RPM Nitro says, what happened to the saw? Did he want a new top end? So I told him that I could probably clean up that piston, you know, like just buff it out a little bit, with most likely good results. But he really wants to, I think, just replace the piston, because the top end is fine as far as the cylinder sleeve. It does have a little bit of just some slight faint piston transfer, which I can just clean those up, no problem. It's really nothing major, and really I think without even doing so, performance isn't going to be affected, but we won't know until that new piston comes in. So he just wants to get a new piston and call it a day, and then if need be, I'll just clean up the cylinder sleeve a little bit, and I might just for good measure, just to avoid any more downtime for him. So he just got his 400, because we've been talking about that for a minute, and man, he pimped it out with all the West Coast goodies, literally. So he got a West Coast clutch cover from us. Then he bought not from us, but the only thing he got from us was the 25-inch light bar and the chain, or no, excuse me, just the 25-inch light bar, 050 gauge, 3/8 pitch, and then he got the West Coast clutch cover from us, and then he went out and got the 3-point dogs, the bark box. He even put a full wrap on it. So for those of you that have a 400 and want a full wrap, you can actually put a full wrap on it. The 362 full wrap fits on the 400. And he sent me some pictures and videos of it yesterday, and man, I need one of those saws in my life. I need a lot of saws in my life, but we need more saw money. But that man, though, he's a young guy, man. He's 19 years old, but he's a hard-working dude, man. He is hard-working, man. So he definitely deserves that 400. And so I'm really excited that he finally got it. He also has a 500i, which you guys already know how I feel about the 500. That's like, I am disgusting when it comes to the 500i. I will make love to that 500i. He said, what? Settle down, people. But I know some of you are like, he ain't joking. And I mean, there's a lot of great saws out there. I like Husqvarna too. But you know, you guys already know I'm a steel guy. But the 440 though, he wants to just get that all dialed in. Okay, that's what I'm going for, and I'm not doing any more. That's good. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah. Okay. I'm not trying to act like I have like my special numbers, and I just, there's a feel that I go for, certain movement, and that's good. I'll kind of show you guys a little bit. But yeah, shelf queen for sure. So the 440, that's what he wants to do. Now that he has his 400 and he has his 500i, He also has a 194 that we did a timing advance on. It's also running a precision saw service muffler. He did that on his own. So the 400 or the 440, that's what he's going to do. He's going to keep it as like a more or less like a shelf queen backup saw. But he also really wants an 044. But he wants a red lever, so the man knows what he wants. But no, I'm very excited for him, and he already gave me permission to post the pictures and videos on Instagram. But I'll see if I have his permission to post it on YouTube, which I'm sure I will, because I already have him on our channel ripping up his 440. But still, I always like to make sure I ask, just because just more private or just, but no, he's all about it, man. He's a good buddy of ours. So anyways, let me show you guys. Well, you don't want to see that. You guys see the flywheel in there, the key? That's pretty much how much movement I'm looking for if I'm going to do a timing advance. And that's just kind of a starting point. And again, for this saw, it could be too much, or it could be just enough. Oh, I'm sorry. We got Carelia in the house giving us a thumbs up. Carelia, thumbs up back to you. I apologize for totally just contact when I'm doing a timing advance. So I don't know how much I've taken off. I should probably be a little bit more professional and get myself some calipers, but that's essentially what I'm looking for. So now timing advance is done. Now we got to go run it, and I said I was going to give this a little cleaning, very light cleaning. So this is where I'm going to actually put some gloves on again, because I'm all paranoid with this poison oak, man. Especially when it gets on the good old, on the gonads. That ain't no fun. And if the poison oak gets on the gonads, and I apologize if we have any young viewers, but if it gets on the gonads, guaranteed they ain't getting no attention. And not by me. But anyways, okay, that was probably a little too TMI, but fuck, it's true. Which I was just telling my lady friend that I think because she's always like, be careful with the poison oak. She's like, be careful, babe, and I'm like, I'm doing my best, gloves and the rubbing alcohol. And I was like, I was talking to her earlier on her last break from work, and I was like, man, honestly, I think I may have gotten a little bit in my eyes because they've been a little itchy lately. And I can always just, poison oak has a very, like, a very distinct sensation and itch. But it's also allergy season coming in, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's a little bit of poison oak just from air compressing the saws. And so I wear Aquaphor because I've been battling with eczema these days. Never had it, but that's what that is, just eczema. And so one of the things with eczema is that you want to keep your skin highly moisturized. You don't want it to go dry. And I've tried different lotions and creams, but my skin is already super sensitive. So what I found to work and what works lately is just good old Aquaphor. So that's why sometimes you guys may notice, and you guys are probably like, dude, is he sweating right now? Like, he's just sitting there, and is he sweating? It's just the Aquaphor, I promise. But although big boy over here, doesn't take much for me to start sweating. So when I'm air compressing, before, like particles and stuff would land on my face, and I would just be able to air compress it off. But now, since I wear the Aquaphor, and it's basically like, like Vaseline essentially, it really just sticks on until I go in and wash off. And so I'm just eventually, believe it or not, I know it sounds really ridiculous, but I'm eventually going to get myself a freaking, like, one of those 3M face shields, because, man, eczema already, and poison oak and dirt and grime, whew, I I'd be looking haggard sometimes. You guys are probably like, what the hell's going on with this guy? And some might be like, dude, why are you throwing yourself under the bus? I'm not. I'm just, it's just conversation, but it's just, you know, it's just how it is. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna. And the thing is with eczema, you know, I wash my face all the time, every day. But the thing is, man, this eczema stuff, I've been learning a lot about it. It could come from a lot of different things, like hormone imbalance, sleep, which it all comes down to sleep. And I think that's why sometimes it's really bad, because my sleep patterns are absolute garbage. I wake up, or I stay up late. I wake up rather early. Notice I say rather, but either way, I don't get enough sleep, and so that starts messing with your hormones, and it starts messing with a lot of other stuff. You know, your immune system, that, you know, sleep deprivation messes with your immune system, and so that's eczema, man. It's just, you know, it just, that's how it can start producing, or if you just don't keep yourself clean. But that part is not the case here. So it's just a matter of other things too, and diet and exercise and just so many different things. So eczema is just kind of it's a real tricky one. It can go away, but it's a tricky one to battle because a lot of things affect it, and other things like allergens, you know, like perfumes or things with a lot of fragrance and scent, or just whatever. But I don't really, I mean, I've been doing everything the same. So oh boy. Here we go with this cap again. So it's just been it's gotten really bad in the last like month. But again, that's something that I've been really striving to change is my sleeping patterns, because that really does it. But you know, it's all part of the game as far as life. Yeah, RPM says, yeah, exactly. Helmet with face guard. Shh. I need a helmet sometimes, man. I'm kind of like, Durr. Okay, well, okay, that was kind of uncalled for, so I apologize for that. But yeah, no, definitely a face guard, you know, like the 3M. 3M makes a really nice one. It looks really ridiculous, but honestly, man, it's, especially if you're allergic to poison oak and you already got the eczema thing going on. It's not even so much for the eczema, it's just for the poison oak aspect of it. But yeah, the eczema stuff too, it doesn't help. So just let's go ahead and get this new rim sprocket on, and then we'll call it a day. Or as far as on the stuff that we want to do. And I'm pretty sure Manny just texted me, so he's probably like, hey man, how's the saw coming along? It's going horrible. I'm just kidding. You guys can probably hear the little ting. So this is a quick thing here. Literally, so all pro saws are running the rim sprocket style sprocket. So this is a rim, so this is a sprocket, the rim sprocket, and then what I kind of just identify as, it's also a sprocket, but it's the drum. 3, 6, 7. Okay, so it is a 7-tooth. Right on, right on. Where is the new sprocket? Okay. And you know what? Since we're already here, let's go ahead and remove the drum sprocket and grease up the needle bearing. RPM says LOL. Yeah, man, that was kind of I think I know why you're laughing. That was kind of a bad joke, because we're not here for all that, you know. But I mean, I am a little special sometimes. Actually, maybe he's letting me know that the Egan muffler showed up. Okay. So all he's saying is that clutch bell. There you go. So all he was saying that if I can throw in a new fuel filter in there, and the man wants a spark plug in it, that we'll check on that right now. And or did he say if it needs one? Oh, if it needs one, I'll swap it out. But this saw is freaking pristine, man. Oh no, and he just sent me the update on the Egan. I don't know what's going on with this Egan or the the United States Postal Service. And shout out to the USPS, man, because they're amazing. They always get us our stuff, and but lately they've been having some delays, and now his Egan muffler was due to come in on Saturday, and now it's back in San Francisco, so it's like going backwards. So I don't know what's going on there. So anyways, so now that we're here, since we're already here, let's just go ahead and grease up this needle bearing. Everything looks great in there. You know what? Let me go ahead and let me just go over there, and since I already got it opened up, let me just air compress some of this off. Just in here a little bit. And I'm gonna leave the piston stop in there because I still need to set the timing. And so let me just hit it with the air compressor real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, all good there. All I'm gonna do is just air compress the clutch cover a little bit, and that's it. Cool. So let's go ahead and grease up this bearing. So I really like Lucas Oil Red and Tacky. It's also lithium based. But right now I'm just finishing off this little tube of white lithium. I've had it since the beginning of when we started up our shop, and I still have quite a bit because you don't need a whole lot. But the kind that the kind of grease that I like is the red and tacky stuff. I like the consistency, and I don't know, I just like it, which I do have some. I ended up buying a tube of it. I bought a tube of it when I got those hedge trimmers in for sharpening. And the reason I needed that is because part of my sharpening process is I open up the gearbox, I clean it all out, and then I pack it with new grease, and I do an inspection of all of its components. Although I need to get a grease gun because I have to kind of do this whole thing. It's getting kind of, anyways. Oh. It's not going to fit. That's way too big. And he got this from a dealer. And I was like, dude, are you sure they gave you the wrong one? And he's like, I think so. He's like, they said it was for the 260. And I'm like, okay, well, the 026 and 260, I mean, essentially it's kind of the same saw, but different saws, but it's not the same. So this is the original, and this is the... And I told him, I was like, well, look, tell him it's for an 026. They did not listen. Okay, so no sprocket change now. That's something that I'm going to have to communicate to him, but I do have the part number here for the clutch bell. So let me take a picture of that and have it as reference. Because I was going to order it for him, but then he's like, well, do you think a store might have it in stock? I'm like, they might, but a lot of dealers, unless they get a lot of older chainsaws, they're not going to have it in stock usually. It's always going to be a special order. So, okay, well, at least we were able to grease up the bearing, because that is important. And which kind of sucks, because chances are he's probably not going to come pick it up today. Which means we ain't going to get no monies. Unless he's going to just run the 325 sprocket, and then I'll just order it and then maybe just ship it over to his house. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let me finish. Let me just clean this up a little bit. It's not going to get much. Just a quick little spit shine here. Yeah, so right now he's running, it's running a 325, so 260s, 261s, they come with a 325 pitch, but he wants to run a chunkier, a beefier chain, which I've already expressed to him that, it might slow down the saw a little bit, because I mean, it is an older saw. It doesn't, the timing advance, it is going to give it a little more zip. And then the Egan the Egan muffler will definitely open it up some too. But that's not to say, I mean, maybe it might have enough juice to push a 3/8 chain, but then he's like, no, he's like, that's what I want. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, if it does slow it down, we can just switch it out again, right? I'm like, yeah, like, no problem. But I mean, me personally, I think like a 261, a lot of people do convert them over to 3/8, but it's a 261, newer chainsaw, different power. But I think, depending on how much juice, how much more zip we get out of his, this 026 here with the timing advance and Egan's muffler, it might be able to push it good. But I really think that the 026 here, I think it'll be more optimal with the timing advance and the Egan muffler, and then running a 325. But who knows? Maybe the timing advance really will just liven it up a little bit more. But I mean, but even then, a timing advance, I mean, it can be very, beneficial, and there is benefit to it. But now if it was ported with the timing advance and an Egan muffler and whatnot, then I can definitely say that I'd have more confidence saying that it would do good with a 3/8 chain. But non-ported with just the timing advance and a modified muffler, it's hard to say. I think it can do it, but how well, we'll see. All we can do, though, as shops or businesses or whatever, if we're providing a service, all we can do is advise. But now, unless it's something that's going to really be just not good, then I'd be like, nah, man, don't even do it. But in this case, I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's only one way to find out. Because you guys saw the video of it running, the running video that I posted of him cutting through that pine, and it wasn't terribly slow, but it wasn't obviously like how the 044 is now. And he said that that's pretty much how the 044 was running before I did the timing advance and the muffler modifications, that it was running kind of slow like the 026. But again, we're talking bigger displacement, more power, essentially, obviously like more powerful. But we'll see, though. We'll see. And like I said, all we can do is advise and talk about the potential risks. But if a customer understands the risk and they want to take the risk, as long as they understand the risk and we're not going to be liable for anything that happens, then, I mean, it's going to pain me to see a saw get ruined or just something, right? But again, all we can do is advise. And pretty much just put in our 2 cents. So we're just giving this a quick little wipe down, nothing major. I did pick away at some of the stuff inside the little flywheel nooks and crannies. Just for my personal OCD. Kind of bums me out about the sprocket, but maybe that's a sign that it's not meant to be. And it kind of makes me question that dealer too. Like, they should have really made sure that it was the right one, because obviously from the 026 and the 260 there were some changes made. So, but he'll be able to return the sprocket, and but maybe it's just my chance to say again, like, hey man, you know what, I think, you know, you already have the 044 that's running a 3/8 pitch. I think leaving the 026 at a with a 325 modified muffler from Egan with the timing advance, I think that's going to be the most optimal, unless he wants to port it. But honestly, I don't know. I think the 026s are great saws, but I don't think it's anything worth going super crazy on. That's just my personal opinion. Like my 028, I'd probably want to do some stuff to that, you know, but I don't know. So I'll try to kind of talk to him about that and see. I might just say, hey, look, man, come pick up the 026. When you do get the Egan, slap it on, tune the carburetor a little bit accordingly, and just see what it does with the 325 pitch. Man, it's already 4 o'clock. Holy crap, man. I got to get out there and do some testing. Shit. Okay. This is all I'm doing for the cleaning on this. Still looks good. I mean, obviously, it was already super clean. Just wiped it out a little bit. Let me hit the clutch cover just a little bit. Just wipe all the little grime off of it. I mean, there's still time in the day, but really 4 o'clock, pretty much from now. I mean, we have I probably have like a good hour, maybe an hour and a half of daylight. And I don't want to be out at the testing site because there's houses there, and I mean, I'm on a public road, it's whatever, but I don't know. I try to be mindful. And I'm sure some people still wonder, like, well, why don't you just run it now, like at your house? Because the living situation is not really compatible for all that right now. All right. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. And good chances are, because I do want to just, because Alberto saw I still need to clean up just a little bit, and then I need to put it back together. So I think that one's just going to get tested tomorrow. I mean, we'll still put it together tonight and clean it up a little bit, and then we'll go out tomorrow and do some testing. I still need to send him a quote for a carburetor for his 250. And at least I can get Manny's saw tested, and hopefully it all works out well, and then talk to him about the sprocket and see what he wants to do. And then, because I really don't like rushing. I don't like rushing. It doesn't make anything go well. So it's better to just take time than to try to rush and get everything done. So I guess his buddy, so I'm talking to Manny, he's still texting me, and And so he just texted me saying that his buddy from the power equipment store texted him and said, "Hey, we actually gave you the wrong part." Let me give him a call real quick. Let me see. 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back off of mute. I was just talking to Manny, and he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "My friend just texted me. He's like, hey, did you come in yesterday to get that thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, the rim sprocket." And his buddy was like, "Yeah, I think they gave you the wrong one." And I was like, "Dude, I was just about to call you right now after we were done with our live stream here." And so he's actually pretty much showing up to the power equipment store, to the shop right now, and getting the sprocket. And he's gonna make his way over here, and then he's gonna get here, and we're gonna go out and test his saw, and go from there. So that'll actually save a lot of time for me, because I normally just take a walk out to the testing site. I put saws in a duffel bag and I just walk out there, because you guys know your boy doesn't drive still right now. So we're still working on getting a new vehicle. So we might even just be able to start working on Alberto's 201 as far as cleaning it, and then or actually, you know what? I think I can just put it together, just fire it up. It does run, but just, make sure that it still runs good, and everything, and then come back and clean it, or just kind of, we'll see what we can do. Let's just get it going here, because it's going to take Manny a little bit to get here anyways, because he's about an hour away. Okay, so timing advance. It's amazing how it all works out. Cool. Let's go ahead and put the muffler back on. Let's get the Loctite ready. I don't know if it's just been that cold out here or what, but this Loctite has been drying up quite a bit. Like every time it dries up. And I do seal it. Come on. Oh. There's just like a chunk of it dried up at the tip. Whoa. Settle down, people. RPM Metro says that's cool. He knows it's the wrong sprocket. Yeah, his buddy called him and he's like, hey, did you come in and pick up the sprocket? And he's like, yeah, I came in yesterday. He's like, yeah. He's like, I think they gave you the wrong one. So he's on his way. He was pretty much pulling up to the shop right now. So we'll have the appropriate sprocket here in about an hour or so. And then we're just going to take a little drive. We're going to go together and just go fire this thing up and do some testing. I'll do my best to get a video for you guys. I wish we had the Egan on there so I can hear what it sounds like, because I want to bring some Egans in, at least for maybe like the 500i, the 461s, and just a couple, just because I really like those two, but I've never, because right now all I push here is the West Coast, but I do tell people about the Egan, but I don't know, a lot of people like the West Coast, but you guys already know how I like my opinion on the Egans. They don't look as pretty as Gordy's as Gordy's bark boxes, but as far as performance goes, I really do think that the Egans have just a slight upper hand on performance, which that's really what matters. Not to say that's not saying that Gordy's don't perform, they do, but I mean, you guys, for those of you that know Egan, I mean, the man knows what he's doing. And so does Gordy, of course, but I don't know. Egan knows what's up. But that's one thing I say. They don't look as pretty, though. And always make sure to, anytime going into metal, make sure to use some Loctite, especially on your saws or just power equipment. A lot of vibration, and either way, better safe than sorry. And I like the red Loctite. I just go straight for the heavy duty. Plus, it's not as runny. And I'm not using the Milwaukee just because these screws are really short, and either way, I just want to do it by hand. You want to make sure that, of course, the screws are nice, snug, and secure, but you don't want to over tighten anything, especially when using Loctite. You know, you do want to give them a good little hand snug, but you don't got to go extreme. Saw already clean, but those crocodile wipes, I love them, man. Great company too. Great folks over there. I chat with them not every day, but often. You know, we show love on each other's posts and things like that, and I feel like they're good. I feel like they're good people over there. They're really about their customers. All right. So let's go ahead and put the rewind on. And hopefully that's not Manny saying, oh, they actually don't have it, because he said they only had one in stock. And the same thing, we're gonna go with some Loctite on these. I don't know why I put it away. Uh-oh. Running out, I guess. I've had this one for a while too. I told him, like, he's like, how's it going, man? And I'm like, good, dude. I'm like, we're actually, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, they gave me the wrong sprocket. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. We figured that out. I'm like, we're doing a live and everybody here's watching. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, man. I'm like, it's all good, man. Like, we'll figure it out. So, but again, hopefully that's not him saying, you know what, man, they actually sold it. Or, oh, it's not the right one either. But I should hurry and respond, because maybe he's at the shop and he wants, maybe they want to confirm the sprocket number that we're running, or the clutch drum that we're running, the part number. So I'll get to that here in just a second. Oh, I freaking jinxed it. He said they had to order it for him because they actually didn't have it in stock, and that it'll be there Monday. And well, that's a bummer. So let me give him a call real quick again. We got Joey G in the house. Says, how's it going? You working on a 026? Yes, sir. I just finished putting it, or starting it to put it back together. Did a timing advance on it. And then we were going to swap out the rim sprocket to a 3/8 pitch, but the one that our buddy Manny brought us from the power equipment shop that he went to pick it up, gave him the wrong one. And so right now that's who I'm talking to, because they called him and said, hey, man, I think we actually gave you the wrong one, but I think we have one here in stock. So he pulled up to the shop, and right now he's telling me that, in fact, they did have to order it, and it won't be here until Monday. So, and I just got to put on the shroud, the clutch cover, and the air filter cover, and then it'll be ready for some testing. It's also going to get an Egan modified muffler, but that's getting shipped to Manny. And then once we actually get the sprocket, we'll swap it out to a 3/8. So it's going to be a 3/8 7-tooth sprocket, and then running a 20-inch bar. And yeah, so let me give him a call real quick. And RPM says, bummer, dude. No, I know. Yeah, I know that sucks. So we'll see if he still wants to come by and pick this thing up and go from there. So 1 second. And we also got who NGH vlog says, hello, my friend. Hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome. I'm going to put you guys on mute 1 second. Okay. Shouldn't have any more phone calls, but that was Manny. So yeah, he really cool dude, man. He's driving all the way from Ukiah, so that's like close to an hour away. And so he's gonna bring us a Husqvarna. I believe it's a 450 Rancher. It sounds like it may or may not need a new top end, but we'll find out. So I was just telling him, dude, you know, like I mean, he already knows, but I was just telling him, you know, like we're just talking about everything, and so he's still gonna come by and pick up this bad boy, and we're gonna go out and do some testing. I did let him know that I potentially won't get to the 450 inspection until tomorrow, just because I do want to get Alberto's saw all done and at least assembled, well, and clean and everything, but before tomorrow, so that way we can go out and do some testing. And assuming that it's not going to rain, hey, we know how to do this air filter cover now. Let's go. Man, it was throwing me for a loop yesterday. But yeah, you really got to make sure it's all the way seated, and then you kind of have to like push it in and then turn it. Anyhow, I'm all excited. So cool beans. And I did tell Manny that honestly, like, he can definitely swap out that rim sprocket by himself, like on his own. It's really simple. That I would just show him how to do it. But if for some reason he maybe didn't feel comfortable doing it, that obviously I'll do it for him. But I feel bad, man. He's coming a whole hour away pretty much both ways, and I was like, just so that way you don't have to come back and get it swapped out on Monday and and everything. And so, and he said no. He's like, yeah, dude, if you want to show me, he's like, I'd appreciate it. I'm like, hell yeah, man, let's get it. Okay, so let's just make sure we tighten our bar nuts so they're secure, so when we're out doing testing, they don't come flying off. And there it is. Red lever 026, cleaned up a little bit, literally just a wipe down, timing advance. This was something that we did for him when he came and picked up his 044. We put the 044 dogs on his 026. He wanted something bigger, and I was like, okay. Again, though, usually when running this setup, you do want to run the rolling chain catcher, but in this case, the rolling chain catcher didn't align, but it does have this chain catcher down here. But still, when you run this setup, you do want to run, if you can, a rolling chain catcher. So just be careful out there, just be mindful. And as far as the 026, we'll see how it runs, but for now she's done and she's ready for testing, and this will go get tested in about an hour. And I think so let me go put this away real quick. Okay, so that pretty much concludes the 026. Now I'm going to move on to Alberto's 201 TC, start cleaning it up. And I think for that, I'm going to do a separate live stream. So, because this one's already going on 115 minutes, not that it really matters, but I like to try to keep the live stream specific to what we're doing. I know sometimes things kind of just get mixed in sometimes, but just that way it's a little bit more on topic, I guess. I don't know. We got Angie F in the house. Sorry, I forgot. I didn't forget. I didn't see your comment there. It says muted, but Joey G's with the assist there, says he's on the phone. But Angie, hello. Happy Tuesday, and thank you for being here. I don't know if you're still here or not, but either way, thank you for popping in. RPM Nitro says, sweet. Joey G asks, what state are you in? So I'm in California, here in good old Sonoma County, wine country. And we got Budsville, USA. Says, what's up? Budsville, how you doing, man? It's good to see you a little more these days. I know you're a busy a busy human being, but it's always great to see you, and thank you for popping in and checking in with me and making sure that everything is all good, and it's been a good day so far. It's a little gloomy out today, weather wise. I'm hearing it's supposed to rain in the next couple days, and I heard it's supposed to rain for 3 days. I heard it's supposed to only rain for 1 day. I don't know what the hell's going on, man. Nothing new though, right? Anyways, let's go ahead and take these off. I know I'm gonna work on another saw right now, but I kind of want to run through these gloves because they're really big. I know we've talked about that already. They're nice gloves. They're 4mm thickness. They're extra large, but they're the Gorilla Grip brand, and they're nice. You know, they don't irritate my hands. They're nitrile. They're black. Not that it matters, but I don't know. None of them have ripped except for one when I was putting it on. But as far as like puncturing or anything, they've been good. They do run a little big though, so if you guys ever want to try this brand, or if you guys wear rubber gloves, I know I've already repeated myself to a lot of you guys because you guys have already heard it, but the only reason I'm even wearing rubber gloves again is because poison oak is on the rise over here, and I've already gotten it once like three weeks ago, which I'm getting over, but then now I think I got a little bit in my eye, probably just from air compressing and dust flying everywhere. But they do run a little big, so I like my gloves snug, so I get the XLs. I mean, I got some pretty big hands, but those definitely run big. Those almost feel like 2X. So I like the brand. Fairly priced for what they are. I mean, gloves are usually about anywhere from like 20 upwards of $30. But I think if I do go with the Gorilla brand, I'm going to get large and see how those fit. But that's why I'm just kind of moving through gloves, just so I can kind of finish them up, and just wasting. And every time I'm done, I always, even though I was wearing gloves, I like to just wipe my hands off with these rubbing alcohol wipes that I just picked up not too long ago. And that's one of the preventative measures that I take when cleaning chainsaws and air compressing. I like to wear long sleeves. And like I was saying earlier, I think I'm going to invest in and I know it seems kind of ridiculous. I know someone's going to say something when I show up on live stream next time, or not next time, but whenever I do get it, you know, we're getting a face shield because, you know, we already got the eczema going on the face, and then poison oak on top of that. No good. Plus, you know, it's just preventative. Joey G says, okay, I'm on the East Coast. Let's go. What state are you in? I'm going to guess Connecticut. I don't know why, but Connecticut just seems like a good guess. Says it's snowing here. Dude, I'm sure it's freaking freezing over there. Yesterday we were in and I don't know if we still are, but in a freeze warning. But it definitely was freezing yesterday. So we'll hang out for just a few more minutes. I appreciate everybody being here. I feel bad sometimes ditching you guys, especially when there's a good little crowd here. But I do want to move into... Oh, gracias. But I do want to move into Alberto's 201 just because of where I live. I do my best to kind of cut the noise at a certain time, especially right now that we're still in that winter hours where it gets dark really quick. So I do my best not to run the air compressor once pretty much it's dark, it's nighttime. So even though technically we can make noise until, I mean, really we can make noise in California, if I remember correctly, until like 10 o'clock. But again, just because of where I live with my grandparents, and it's freaking HOA infested, and it's really a senior mobile home community, so 55 and over. So we have cool neighbors. Like my neighbor next door over here, he knows what I do. He knows I'm here, and but I still try to just be mindful, you know. During summer hours, we're air compressing until freaking 7, 8 o'clock, as long as it's daylight out. But, and that's why I don't run saws here. Just a quick little, that was really random, but gracias. Joey G says it's snowing here. Oh, I already read that comment. How many inches have you guys gotten? Have you guys... Joey G says, okay, Virginia, okay. That's where the man Aaron Lynch is from. Well, West Virginia. Same thing, right? Kind of? Ugh, don't kill me, though. I don't know. I think it's the same. West Virginia? Virginia? Kind of close, although I don't think Connecticut is not that close to you guys. I don't know. I should have probably paid attention more in class. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much concludes this live stream. I'm going to move on and start prepping Alberto's 201T and start doing some work on that. And we'll be back here in just a little bit. So much love to everybody. Thank you for being here. And maybe we'll see each other on the next live stream, which is going to be here in just a little bit. Maybe I'm going to just say 10 minutes. I'm going to just kind of stretch my legs a little bit. I'm going to make a phone call real quick. And then we'll be back. So much love to everybody. Happy Tuesday. And thank you guys all for all the continued love and support. And we'll see you when we see you. Laters. Oh, we got Joey real quick. Sorry, my bad. Let's not leave Joey hanging here. Says, not much. I don't want to deal with it. And Aaron is about 6 hours west of me. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's badass. Okay. Well, much love to you, Joey, and everybody out in Virginia, West Virginia, just Virginia, man. Just much love to everybody. So, and yeah, it's cool. Aaron will pop in every now and then. You know, I know he's a very busy man, so but it's cool. He'll pop in every now and then, and you know, and just I know I say I don't do shout outs much, but definitely shout out to Aaron Lynch, because you know, I'm very grateful to have met him last year, like the middle of last year, you know, when I got into saws and especially porting and started researching, you know, his videos would come up, and I just found myself, you know, that I kept gravitating towards his channels and his channel and his videos, and it wasn't long that I determined that he's a freaking awesome dude, very helpful, kind, like I said, helps out wherever he can, always willing to, you know, to help, and yeah, so much love to Aaron. So, and like I said, much love to everybody else. So we'll see you guys soon, maybe like a little 10-minute break, and we'll be back with Alberto's 201. So again, laters. This time for real. Laters.